On the 1st of May 1946, Jesus speaks with reference to the assumption about the soul. He says, "There is a difference between the separation of the soul from the body through real death and the temporary separation of the spirit from the body and from the vivifying soul through ecstasy or contemplative rapture. While the separation of the soul from the body brings about death, the ecstatic contemplation, that is the temporary flight of the spirit outside the barriers of senses and matter, does not bring about death, and that because the soul does not become completely detached and separated from the body, but it does so only through its better part, that plunges into the fire of contemplation. All men, as long as they live, have a soul within themselves, dead or alive as it may be, through sin or justice, but only the deep, loving souls of God arrive at real contemplation. This proves that the soul that keeps the body alive while it is united to it, and this peculiarity applies to all men in the same way, has in itself a more noble part, the soul of the soul, or spirit of the spirit, which in just people is very strong, whereas in those who cease to love God and His law, even if only through their tepidness and venial sins, it becomes weak, depriving the person of the capability to contemplate and know God and His eternal truths, as far as a human creature can do so, according to the degree of perfection achieved. The more a creature loves and serves God with all its strength and power, the more the nobler part of its spirit increases its capacity to know, to contemplate and penetrate the eternal truths. Man, gifted with a rational soul, is a capacity that God fills with Himself. As Mary, after the Christ, was the most holy of all creatures, she was a capacity so full of God, of His graces, charity and mercy, as to overflow on the brothers in Christ of all ages, and until the end of time. She passed away, submerged by the waves of love. Now, in heaven, where she has become an ocean of love, she overflows her waves of charity on her sons faithful to her, and also on her prodigal ones, for their universal salvation, as she is the universal mother of all men.